Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Shwana Tucker, Chief Talent Officer for the State Department of Education. I'm here today with my colleague and Bureau Chief, Chris Todd, and our colleague in the Performance Office, Dr. David Alejandro. Before we begin this session, know that we hope that you and your families are remaining healthy and safe during this health pandemic we are faced with. Despite the ongoing challenges, we would like to recognize the great work, dedication, and commitment of districts to meet the needs of students, families, and staff members this spring and as you prepare for the forthcoming school year. It is our goal here in the Talent Office to provide resources and supports for districts to best meet the needs of educators and students.
Good afternoon. I'm Chris Todd, Bureau Chief in the State Department of Education's Talent Office. I'm pleased to be here today with my colleagues, Shawana and David, as we walk you through several resources and strategies which will help you meet your staffing needs. Our session goals today are to navigate the Bureau of Educator Standards and Certifications webpage and to find district-specific resources and forums, to review flexible staffing strategies that exist within current regulations and statutes, and to provide guidance to districts regarding the EdSite Active Endorsement Reporting Tool. The Bureau of Educator Standards and Certification webpage can be found at the link provided at the top of this page, or you can access the site from the CSDE's main webpage under Educator Certification and Preparation. Once the Bureau's site has been accessed, you can scroll down to find the District Resource button. This brings you directly to our certification page dedicated to district-specific resources and forms. On the district's resources page, you will find a number of direct links to forms, overview presentations and orientation materials, and access to quick links for certification public lookup and certification news and updates. Additionally, the Bureau of Educator Standards and Certification is maintaining and updating regularly our response to the pandemic in a central location. Once at the Bureau's site, there are two ways to access this information: the left-hand table or the COVID-19 updates button. Once on our COVID-19 resources page, you will find that resources are broken down into three primary categories: applicants and certified educators, district resources, and educator preparation programs, or EPPs. As additional resources are developed, they will be housed here in addition to the CSDE's centralized COVID-19 page for superintendent and district leaders. We'd also like to talk briefly about the shift towards electronic form submission that has temporarily allowed districts to more quickly submit appropriate forms, paperwork, and signatures to the Bureau. The Bureau has worked diligently to create these temporary flexibilities for districts, applicants, and teacher candidates. A large part of this effort has been to allow for the electronic submission of forms to our Bureau from authorized designees. To support these efforts, all district forms have been converted to fillable PDF files for easier communication between applicant and district and the Bureau. These forms can continue to be printed and signed as they always have if your district has been able to maintain that process remotely. However, we know that not all HR personnel have been able to realistically maintain those original procedures, and as such, we felt it was important to provide alternative methods. At this point, all forms, including the list below, have been converted to fillable PDFs. Additionally, guidance was provided on how to access and utilize these forms for district HR personnel, which can be located in our certification alert page. The goal today is to talk about a number of strategies that districts can employ for flexible staffing as they look to provide students across the state of Connecticut with appropriately certified and permitted educators. The Talent Office believes that this is key to student success moving forward into the coming school year. It's important for districts to remember that utilizing certified educators and other bachelor degree holders as daily substitutes for those assignments less than 40 days does not need to be authorized by the Bureau. Additionally, there are 3 strategies that districts can employ to support flexible staffing. First, substitute authorizations for candidates that do not hold a bachelor's degree. The substitute authorization is intended specifically for those who are either not certified or do not hold a bachelor's degree. Minimally, they must be at least 18 years old, have a high school diploma or equivalent, and have experience working with school-aged children. This experience could be coaching experience, it could be tutoring experience, it could be working with religious studies experience. There's a variety, camp counselors, there's a variety of ways that we can document this experience for working with it. It allows districts greater flexibility with whom they hire, but it does require an appropriate certification from the Bureau through the use of the ED 174 form. Substitutes are authorized to serve no more than 40 days in the same assignment, meaning a district could hire a building substitute for the year, using them daily throughout the various assignments in the building, but that individual would be limited to covering a specific educator to less than 40 days in a given year. An additional strategy, which is often regularly used, is the long-term substitute authorization. This authorization allows individuals to serve in the same assignment beyond 40 days. As with the substitute authorization, this requires authorization from the Bureau through the use of the ED 175 form. The minimum requirements for a long-term substitute is that the individual holds a bachelor's degree and has at least 12 credits in the content area or subject grade looking to be taught. A third strategy that exists is the use of the Durational Shortage Area Permit, also known as DSAPS. This strategy is actively utilized by a large number of districts and allows a certified educator in another endorsement area or an individual that is currently enrolled in a program leading to certification who also has at least 12 credits in the content area seeking to be taught to serve as a substitute for the remainder of the year beyond the 40 days. This requires an authorization from the Bureau through the use of the ED 177 form. Additionally, we would like to talk briefly about utilizing retired educators. The Talent Office has worked closely with the Teacher Retirement Board, TRB, to provide additional resources to districts regarding the reemployment of retired educators, including a joint memo that was released early June of 2020. Please note that all regulations and requirements regarding the ability of the reemployment of retired educators rests within the statutory powers of the Teacher Retirement Board and not within the CSDE nor the Commissioner of Education. While we recognize that these strategies present their own unique sets of challenges and restrictions, we also want to remind districts of the surplus of certified educators not showing in EDS that exist across the state. As such, we are thankful to have Dr. David Alexandro from the CSDE Performance Office join us today to walk you through the exciting tool released last year to help district HR staff search for and strategically recruit certified educators for openings within their district. At this point, I will turn the presentation over to David.
Thanks a lot, Chris, and good afternoon, everyone. Today, I will be focusing primarily on explaining how you can search for educators with active endorsements. The Educators with Active Endorsements report is Connecticut's first secure educator level report. It provides easier access to Connecticut educator certification data to assist districts in strategic recruitment and hiring so that students get increased access to the most qualified educators. So where can district offices access this report? The report is available in EdSite Secure. I provided the URL here, but since some of you may be new to EdSite Secure, I want to spend a few moments on it. What is EdSite Secure? It's our secure online data portal, and it's for designated district staff. It's a way for those authorized users to access student-level data and, as we'll see in today's webinar, educator endorsement data. Beyond sharing data securely, EdSite Secure is a data analytics and visualization tool. So it includes a lot of charts and data tables, opportunities for you to filter, disaggregate, export, and really engage and explore the data. We strongly encourage you to use EdSite Secure, because it has a wealth of information beyond what is in the EdSite public data portal. This slide is for those of you who don't have access already. We do have a process that begins with the superintendent designating which individuals in the district will be authorized to access EdSite Secure. Privileges are granted either at the school or the district level. Next, your district security manager will create the account or assign roles depending on what level of access you should have. Then within an hour, you'll be able to log in and access all of this information. If you're not sure who your LEA security manager is, the link provided at the bottom of this slide will take you to the PDF containing contact information for all LEA managers. We will provide a link to this slide deck along with the link to the recording of today's webinar, so you'll have all of this available. The reports available in EdSite Secure are grouped into 3 sections: students, educators, and performance. Today's webinar will focus on the middle section, labeled educators, but we encourage you to explore the entire catalog of reports. Once you are an authorized EdSite Secure user, you'll have a unique username and password, and you can log into EdSite Secure in one of 2 ways. You can either navigate to the directory manager, which I'm calling the Portal Applications website on this slide. You'll see that on the left. Or you can go directly to the EdSite Secure login shown on the right of the screen. And if you're on a computer where you don't have a favorite saved or you can't remember the URL for EdSite Secure, you can just Google EdSite Secure and the first link in the search results will take you to the EdSite Secure login screen. Once you enter your credentials and sign in, you'll hopefully be brought to this page, which is called the Welcome to EdSite Secure report. I say hopefully because the intent is that your view should default to this report. Unfortunately, we know that sometimes that isn't the case, so I'll discuss a workaround in the next slide. If you don't get brought automatically to that Welcome to EdSite Secure report, you may see the folder icon shown at the top of this slide, which says no reports were found. If you see this, don't worry. Just click the Browse for Reports option and follow the path shown here. Select Welcome to EdSite Secure and click Open. At that point, you'll be brought to the Welcome to EdSite Secure report. On this welcome screen, you'll click the Educators with Active Endorsement reports highlighted in the purple oval here. The report presents the information in 3 tabs. The first tab, labeled All Educators with Active Endorsements, presents the names, active endorsements, employment status, and email address for all certified educators for whom CSDE has an email address on file. The second tab, labeled Educators with Active Endorsements, My District Only, presents EINs, names, active endorsements, school, job classifications, and email addresses for all certified educators currently employed in a certified position in your district, for whom we have an email address on file. And finally, the Resources tab includes links to how-to documents, reference guides, and other useful resources. Here we see the All Educators with Active Endorsements tab, with the popular filter option selected. The 3 slim white rectangles are the filter buttons for this report. These buttons allow the user to filter by a single endorsement code or several endorsement codes, as well as further limit the results based on employment status. So let's walk through an example. In this case, I'm looking to find potential applicants for an open position in my district, Director of Special Education. I've labeled the 3 filter drop-downs here. In the first filter, labeled with circle number 1, I have selected that the educator must hold the 165 or 265 Special Education Comprehensive K-12 endorsement. Notice that the filter selection is summarized in the middle section of the report screen. In the second filter, labeled with circle number 2 in this slide, I've selected that the educator must also hold the 092 Intermediate Administration and Supervision endorsement. I've left the third filter blank, so my results will include all qualified educators, regardless of their current employment status in Connecticut. As you see, each filter includes a count of how many educators hold each endorsement. As I apply additional filters, however, there are fewer educators who will meet all of the criteria I've selected. As you see in the red oval in the lower right of this slide, I can grab the vertical scroll bar and help text will appear to let me know how many records met my criteria. In this case, I can access a pool of 943 educators for my current opening. We recommend exporting the results as an Excel or CSV file for further exploration or printing. To export the data, simply hover over the double chevrons in the top right of the list table until the export icon appears. Click the export icon and follow the prompts to download your results. If you've selected several filters and you now wish to start fresh for a new search, it's easiest to clear all the filters by refreshing the report. As you see here, you can clear all filters by clicking the 3-dot or the snowman icon on the top right of the report and selecting the Refresh Report option. The functionality of the second tab, or the My District tab of the report, is similar to that of the first tab. As you see, however, there are additional search boxes that allow the user to search their own district staff by EIN and last name. In addition, you can view the current school and job classifications for all certified educators currently staffed in your district. And finally, the Resources tab includes links to how-to documents, reference guides, and other useful resources. If you have a question that I haven't answered in these slides, the answer can probably be found on the Resources tab. One quick note on web browsers, we recommend Google Chrome for accessing EdSite Secure reports. If you're not able to scroll through a list while working with any of the filters, please clear your browsing data and retry. That usually helps in troubleshooting some of those type of issues. At this point, I'll turn it back to Dr. Tucker, and I do welcome any questions or feedback you have as you're working with this report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. David Alexandro. And thank you for taking time to join us to review strategies and resources for districts. We hope this presentation has been informative and provided you with needed guidance to assist with your daily responsibilities. At any time, if you have a question or specific concerns, please feel free to contact us. Thank you for your time.